Thank you so much to everyone, to Harold, to Dr. Smith, yes, Mr. Williams, Ron, Barbara. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, and make sure that you invite your friends as well. I was working on, we have some good stuff coming up, and I'm going to include this in our AfroEconomics update because we have some good stuff coming up. The AfroEconomics Business Summit, November 10th, the last one for 2018. The AfroEconomics Awards event, holiday celebration, year celebration, that's coming up. Yes, indeed. That is Saturday, December 15th. Because our home office, we have offices in New York, DC. The home office is in Virginia. Yes, indeed. Bryan Financial Group, one of the first registered investment advisory firms, 100% Black owned on the planet, and the first in the Richmond, Virginia area. So we're going to continue to show Richmond love. They made it all possible. So thank you. Call me at 1-833-ASK-AFRO if you have any questions for me. This is going to,
so thank you. Call me at 1-833.
I'm going to make sure. That's funny. It popped right into that when I went over to the internet. It popped into playing the recording. I love it. So I want to go and let's get started. Let's have some fun. I want to pull up my document, which is behind me. Now, why did I think about Jim Brown? Well, I have had football on my mind for a while. On Wednesday, our topic is Wednesday, October 17th. So that's tomorrow. On October 17th, on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, I'm doing a webinar, info session, online meeting on top defensive moves. Now, of course, he was an offensive player, but a big AfroEconomic topic for last week was Jim Brown and Kanye West visiting the White House. And I tell you, this morning, I was listening to, it made me think about my AfroEconomics topic because I'm a Malcolm X lover. So I was listening to my brother, Malcolm X, and he was on his speech. I challenge all of you to actually check it out on the House Negro and the Field Negro. And it just was interesting because I still feel that from an AfroEconomic perspective on that we actually still have those things that are in our minds, even if it's in our subconscious mind. Because I wonder, like, all of the anger in Kanye West going into the White House to meet with Trump. Like, did we feel like this field Negro became a house Negro, or was it some sort of what we would call sellout move by Jim Brown? Do you feel that Jim Brown is a field Negro that became a house Negro, or was he a house Negro that became a field Negro? Like, how do we actually see that? Because I feel that because of that subconscious, unfortunate program of still seeing that there's certain people that are field Negroes, if I had to choose, I would say as an entrepreneur that has selected to serve our community, I am considered a field Negro. I am often told I grind hard, and I'm not involved in the political process. I believe that I serve you best in discovering and pulling out what advantages do we have economically in whatever administration that we have. I feel that if I attach myself with a political party or the political process, I do my community a disservice with not making sure that I focus on our economic empowerment. So I try to see Jim Brown and Kanye West, they're meeting from an AfroEconomic perspective. And especially in the discussion that Kanye West had of the prison system. And then I could begin to really think about the process after slavery of creating a prison system that created a culture that allowed the government to lock up Black people where they were the minority in the country. They, over the years, have become the majority in the prison system of something that it goes all the way back to our history as slaves. Kanye West makes reference to this, of how we have to stop allowing institutions to use our prisoners for profit, and then we reject him. We have to discover that economically, the overabundance of us being victims of the over prosecuting of us. Even from a credit perspective, the research shows that a Black person with bad credit or the same credit issue of a white person, when they looked at the research, a Black person was more likely to get prosecuted and taken to court over the same financial mistake, burden of debt that the majority population had, but they were more likely to have their credit destroyed by it. So this is real, the over prosecuting, the brutalization of our community, and we're not connecting with how it has impacted us economically. So last week, Kanye West and Jim Brown going to the White House, and Kanye making his greatest attempt as what I see Kanye West as a field Negro. Because a hip hop artist, I haven't heard a hip hop artist or any of these entertainers really being given the opportunity to really talk. So when we hear them talk, because it's not what we're accustomed to, we're not listening to the message, we turn it quickly over to it's a rant. He's crazy. He's stupid. Instead of pulling out of what Jim Brown and Kanye West brought there, because the things that Jim Brown has gone through historically, even if you look at his record of things that he's been taken to court for and then dismissed, he's been accused of this and then dismissed, charges dropped. You know, those are real things that I saw a brother do an article on him after he went to meet with Trump. It was almost like, how can this field Negro decide that he wants to be a house Negro? I'm going to make sure I bring up his past and I destroy him, no matter what he has done as an activist or a servant of our community. That type of behavior is going to hurt us economically, continuously, until we realize that we are more alike than we are different. Black man is a black man, is a black man. So I have in my notes here, what does Jim Brown like about Trump? Does he like the tax cuts? Does he like that we've had economic growth over the last quarter? Does he like that wages are going up? Or does he like that unemployment is at a 50-year low? So the jobs appear to be coming back. But what does that, is that what they mean when they say you want America to be great again? What is that? Is that what they really mean? That you want to have more jobs? Do we want to have Black unemployment at 6.1, Hispanic unemployment at 4.5, Asian unemployment at an astonishing 2.7? These are the lowest unemployment numbers since race-based records began in 1970. But still, Black unemployment is at its highest. So we have these politicians that we have voted in, and they're not bringing out the fact that our unemployment is still at the highest. That we still, but we're supposed to put down Kanye West for saying that we need to bring technology back into his community, our community? That is a valid point. How are we? We have to have, if we're going to have politicians, we have to have politicians who will not just speak up when they feel that there's a Supreme Court justice that doesn't need to be there, but politicians that will speak up because Black people are not getting jobs at the rate of other people. Why not? Black communities don't have the schools that they need. Why not? But immediately they will say, I don't serve just Black people. So again, we lose because you vote these people in. They run on the fact that they're Black and represent Black communities. But once they get voted in, we allow them to stand up for everyone, mostly for people who did not even vote for them. So it affects us from an AfroEconomic perspective because it says, why? They're not going to do anything. They're going to put the person down that comes in and tries to say that we need to be elevated too. Inflation softens last month. Only 0.1% for September. This is that the cost of living is slowing down. Looks like the core consumer price index also advanced 0.1%, and its 12-month gain was unchanged at 2.2. So if the consumer price index, inflation as we know it, continues to slow, then maybe the Federal Reserve might take pause on the interest rate increases that they've promised. And then there also is something called your consumer confidence. Yes, the latest University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index fell short of what was forecasted by briefing.com. They expected that October would be at 100, but instead the index fell to 99. That's 1.1 points below the confidence ranking that they expected. So that could mean that maybe people are feeling that I'm not going to maybe spend that much for, they might be just be getting, like I get these calls about, it's got to slow down at some point. We might have more of that. But if we get through this quarter and it's okay, then consumer confidence indeed, or even this month with confidence. But we'll see how the holiday season goes. What do you anticipate doing for your holiday season and your holiday money? Social Security benefits, yep, they will grow by 2.8% in 2019. That is the largest cost of living adjustment since 2012, indeed, next year. So that means that the monthly payment for retired couples on average will rise from $23.81 to $24.48. Hey, every dollar counts. Here's a little tip I want to share. If you want to save more money or invest more money, you may find that by eating out less, you can save more. Many people spend about $300 a month or more eating out. If you brought that down to $100 a month, you would be saving an additional $2,400 a year. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are spending well over $300 a month just on eating out. Year to date, this is as of Friday's close, around Tuesday morning. Year to date, Dow Jones, 2.51. That's considering everything that it did last week. 1 year change, 10.9. 5 years, still up 13.26. And 10-year average, 16.99. Yes, indeed. Look at these this Dow Jones Industrial Average, NASDAQ, the S&P, they're called indices. They're unmanaged. They do not incur fees or expenses and cannot be invested in directly. These returns do not include dividends. NASDAQ year-to-date, 8.6. 10-year NASDAQ, 30.65. S&P 500, 3.5. And the 10-year, the year-to-date, 3.5 on the S&P 500. 10-year, 17.58. If you want to get more information like this and to keep up with our Afroeconomic update, please make sure you take advantage of every opportunity to go to AfroEconomics.com and subscribe. How about that, right? You can go to jbbryan.com. This is my website for our corporation. The registered investment advisory firm. Go to jbbryan.com. You can click into AfroEconomics right there. Yes, indeed. We empower investors through building comprehensive financial plans, investments, insurance, retirement accounts for individuals and businesses. Get busy indeed. How are you doing, Mr. Jordan? I see y'all. You all have snuck in since I was doing my report. Thank you so much. Please make sure you check this out on YouTube. And I promise you, YouTubers, I will come live more often. Thank you for the opportunity to share this with you, the Afroeconomics update. Those are some of my thoughts, and that's some of the information. Hopefully it will empower you. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, you can register now. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, it is defensive moves, looking at my top 10 NFL defensive players and what their moves teach us about protecting our money. Interesting, right? I'll make sure it is. Be empowered. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, call me if you need me, 1-844-JB-BRYAN or 1-833-ASK-AFRO. Have a great week.